Hello and welcome back. It is Jeremy Sparks Comics here, bringing you guys another Final Order Cutoff video for indie comics. So let's get into this. There's a little bit less, I feel like, on this week's Final Order Cutoff for indie comics that I think you should be checking out, things that I'm reading or am interested in starting to read. So first up, let's if you're navigating on the Previews World website, that is where I am looking for these books. Go there under the catalog tab. There is a Final Orders Due tab that you can click and check out what is on Final Order Cutoff for this Monday. This Monday is going to be, that is August 8th, and that is when your shop, whether it be in person at your local shop or your online shop, can order these books. So sometimes they'll put the cutoff for Sunday so that they have time to compile everything and put it in by Monday. But for this week, first up, looking in Image Comics, we've got Everyday Hero Machine Boy, a graphic novel from Irma Nivilla, Tri Vuong, both doing writing and art, it looks like, credited there. It's a bird, it's a plane, it's Machine Boy. When Machine Boy falls from the sky into the domed city of Mega 416, he leaves a wake of destruction in his path until Karate Grandpa is able to turn on his heart. Now Machine Boy wants nothing more than to become a hero. Whether he's fighting giant bugs in the school's basement, rescuing cats from trees, or making the perfect spaghetti sauce, Machine Boy is always looking for the best way to help others. But when his heart begins to interact dangerously with the other debris from space, Machine Boy wonders if he can be a power for good after all. Bringing a funny and engaging adventure that asks, can you override your own programming? There was a preview for this in one of the Skybound X books, and it looked really cool, so this is something I think is worth checking out, and it's not going to be single issues, it's all going to come out. One graphic novel, it's $12.99 price is what it's looking like, so it does not say how many pages the graphic novel will be, though. Moving on from there, from Image Comics, Stillwater, issue number 15, from Chip Zdarsky, Ramon K. Perez, and Mike Spicer. Issue 14 brought a whole nother part of the world into play, and some crazy things are going on in the story. Crazy things are going on already, but it gets crazier. And this is the final arc of Stillwater here. So if you've been reading Stillwater, keep on it. If you haven't been, go pick up the trades, catch up. It is fantastic, and you really should be checking out this story. Zdarsky is really nailing this different kind of style of horror and thriller kind of story we got going on here. Moving down from Image, we're going into the Boom Studios with House of Slaughter number 8 from James Tynion IV. Sam Johns, War the Deladera, Letizia Katanichi, and Raphael Albuquerque's cover A is phenomenal. Love it. Absolutely love the craziness going on this cover. The Scarlet Arca House of Slaughter continues as Edwin's search for a legendary monster goes horribly amiss. Adrift on Lake Michigan, can Edwin survive with only the torn page of his journal as makeshift SOS notes? What memories of his past cases will surface as he clings to life? The last issue was really cool. The ending on that was fantastic. A little bit of a cliffhanger going on. I've been really enjoying getting to see these other parts of the Something is Killing the Children world. So I'm, of course, staying on this for... I'm going to keep on everything Something's Killing the Children related and continue to check out the world as we explore it. We Only Find Them When They're Dead, issue number 13 from Boom Studios. Al Ewing, Simone DeMeo, also on the last story arc here with their story. And Honorim flashes back to the attempt on his life, the catalyst for his current paranoia. But as he debates what to do about Theory and what the revelation of his survival means, he may discover that New Dawn has her own agenda. Cryptic things going on here. This has been a pretty interesting arc so far. Of course, each arc's 50 years apart, going down into the future, and one character from our first arc still around, so says a little bit about aging in this time. But this, yeah, so far, really cool story. A little bit disjointing when you kind of jump from the 50 years each time. But each 50-year story has been really cool, really intriguing. Lots of different cool space things going on, and definitely one worth checking out. I think it may read better in a trade paperback where you don't have delays in between issues. But I've also just been still picking up the issues because I want to know what's going on right away in this one. Moving down to Dark Horse, there is a trade paperback called The Panic from Neil Clyde and Andrea Moody that looks pretty cool. I think this one was on, yes, it was on Comixology Originals first, and so this is its first time coming to print here from Dark Horse. 10 strangers trapped beneath the Hudson River are forced to depend on their fellow commuters in order to survive an apocalyptic event. Those left must fight their way through more than the rubble to make it to safety. But the darkness is closing in, and with it, their own individual fears and paranoia. It'll be a long road to the end of the tunnel. That is, if they don't kill each other before they get there. Sounds pretty cool. Sounds like an interesting horror-style story, and Andrea Moody's art in horror is fantastic. Next up, going to IDW, we got one from Scott Brian Wilson and Liana Kangas. True Cult, issue number 2. Issue 1's not quite out yet, but it should be out coming up maybe this week or the week after. Satanic panic continues. Marty realizes that Burger Lord wasn't so bad compared to the job the Church of the Immortal Heart Beast has in store for him and Allison. Meanwhile, Burness goes all CSI trying to figure out what's going on. And somebody's gonna make out with rat blood in the parking lot. But who? Hope you've got that extra large soda ready because things are getting spicy in this very special episode of True Cult. This whole story sounds pretty cool, and Liana Kangas' art is fantastic. So that's really why I originally wanted to pick this up, and why I'm going to continue this until I check it out. But I'm probably going to be on it through the end. Going down to the comics and graphic novels section, we've got Dark Beach 6 of 6 from not Behemoth Comics, but Sumerian Comics. Michael J. Ruiz-Unger and Sebastian Perez, last issue of this incredible sci-fi story we got going on. Sci-fi mystery thriller, I think encompasses it pretty well. After 300 years of Earth drifting through space, Gordo and company risk it all for a chance to correct humanity by attempting to steal the remaining Project Daydream data from the underbelly of the NRCE. Will Gordo's coup be successful, or will solving this mystery lead him towards the most unexpected encounter of his life? When I talk about indie comics and I talk about world building and learning about the new world that you're exploring in a new story, I think Dark Beach is one of those ones that I come to and say, this is the story that is building up the world properly, letting us see into the nature of the world, and the sci-fi concepts that are thrown into this are fantastic, while also focusing our story around this mystery of these deaths, these killings, and the thriller aspect of the knowing eventually who's doing it, and why or what they might be hiding. So Dark Beach, highly recommend this one from Behemoth Comics / Sumerian Comics. Transitions coming, and they've made an announcement about that coming at New York Comic Con. They're going to be talking about the full details and all that information. So definitely something to be looking out for there. It's the end of Behemoth comes and the rise of Sumerian Comics comes. So Dark Beach 6 of 6 here. Coming down the list from Blood Moon Comics, we've got Endangered #1 and #2 getting second printings. One that I highly recommend people checking out. John McCarthy, Ron Joseph, bringing us this story of a post-apocalyptic Earth where essentially kind of nuked ourselves into oblivion. But there are some people that were in space, and they are working on getting back to Earth and seeing what is left. Is there something left to return to, or is it mutated bugs and nothing that wants them to be there? So we'll see what's coming up next. The first two issues have been fantastic, and so fantastic that they got reprints. The demand was there after the first printing sold out. So definitely check this out. If you missed those first prints, get the second prints, and you will not regret reading that one. Going down the list to one from AWA Upshot, we got Joneses, issue 5 of 5 from Michael Morecki, Alessandro Vitti, and Ives Forcina. Another pretty brutal cover from John Gallagher here. In the global pandemic known as the Great Death, mother, father, sister, and brother all transformed in something superhuman. Talked about this one so many times, but just this is your last chance to be reading it. As it's coming out, issue 5 of 5 here. We've got the reborns of the Resistance world here, and in a family dynamic with neighbors that are reborns, and we're gonna see some final hell break loose, I think, with a final showdown between the Joneses and the Dillons, the rival family that's trying to take over the town. So definitely be checking this one out. Highly, highly recommended from AWA Upshot. Moving down the list, another one from the now Sumerian Comics. Kingdom Come Deliverance issue number 2 is on the list for Final Order Cutoff. Issue 1 should be coming out this week, maybe next week. But if you've played the video game, you're going to want to check this out. We talked with Brett Murphy on the channel back when this was first in the catalog. I've read issue number 1. It is fantastic. I have not played the game fully. I started playing it after reading the issue, and I really enjoyed it without having that lore of the world from the game, without having knowledge of any of that. And it's a great like medieval style story going on here without knowing anything about the game. The ruthless bandit Runt continues to shed fear upon Bohemia in the name of King Sigismund. Meanwhile, King Sigismund has discovered there's a traitor among his royal loyalists. Find out who dares defy King Sigismund in this action-packed second issue of Kingdom Come Deliverance, Death Among Us. Further down the list, from Scout Comics, we've got Nocturne County number 1 from James E. Roche and Axer Enius. Nocturne County is an adult crime noir set in a classic children's book universe, as if Dr. Seuss took a few swigs of whimsical whiskey and ran amok through Sin City. Just boom. Sounds crazy. This cover definitely is Seussical, meets the golden books. Like the edge of that looks like the golden books of our childhood. And I think this is a pretty interesting sounding story. It's a non-stop title, so it is a 1 issue followed by a collected trade. So get your taste of it here in this issue, and then if you like it, go get the trade, which will come out probably 2 months, just like Scout usually does. Moving down, Mad Cave has a couple of Mad Cave Studios legacy titles. It's kind of like $1 off of what the usual price is. One in particular I think is of note is the Nottingham one from David Hazan, Shane Connery-Volk, and Luca Romano on colors. Cully Hammer doing the cover art for this reprint cover, the legacy variant. It's kind of following along the Image Firsts, the Marvel Timely reprints, or other sorts of reprints that have happened in the past from different publishers. So this is your chance to recheck out Nottingham issue number 1 here. Just fantastic story. Highly recommend checking out Nottingham anyways. So if you haven't, go check this out. If you like it, go pick up the trade for volume 1. Just fantastic. Moving down further on the list, from Scout Comics as well, New Rat City issue #1 from Honor Vincent and George Quadros. It's 2083 and there's not much left of New York City after years of floods, pests, and infrastructure mismanagement. The only people keeping the city habitable for its few remaining residents are the pest controllers, and humane laws mean they generally aren't allowed to kill. Felicia Shepard is a pest controller who has recently taken over the family business after her mother disappeared and a rat-related accident took her dad out of commission. Felicia does the best she can for her clients, but her job becomes much harder when swarms of unnervingly organized pests start running rampant across the city. Enjoy the first issue of Non-Stop title, followed by the entire series collected soon in one volume. And this one was a Kickstarter project. I have not gotten it yet. I think it was the Kickstarter I backed was for issue 1 and 2. But I'm excited for this anyways because I really enjoyed checking out the Kickstarter and seeing what the story is about, seeing some of the interior art in that Kickstarter. So I think I'm going to really like this one, and I backed the Kickstarter. And since Kickstarter's done, this is the way to get it. So go pick this one up from Scout Comics. Got 2 more here. One is another graphic novel. This one I have read. I have it here from, let's see where I put it. There it is. So this one came out from Behemoth, it says on here. And it is Walking Without a Soul from Alicia Fernandez. It looks like it's going to be coming out with the Sumerian logo on it through Diamond now. This I pre-ordered from Amazon when the creator posted about it. I love it. Absolutely love this. I need to put out a full review for this for you guys. But I really think this is a great story that you should be checking out if you like graphic novel forms, especially longer story. This is one of 3 in a trilogy of graphic novels in the vibrant universe that she is creating here. Imagine that you have a chance to choose how you'd like to live, who you'd like to be in your next life. How? You simply need to make a deal with these creatures just before the moment death comes to take you. They can grant you any wish. They can fulfill your deepest desires, no matter how selfish, perverse, or twisted they are. And it only costs you your soul. That's it. This story, while it has very vibrant and happy moments, it also has some very dark moments, creepy moments. And I love that mashup of extremes that can happen here. And cannot recommend this more. So that is one that, looking at this list, new things that I think you should check out, really would put at the top of that list. Moving to the last one here. This one looks really interesting. I had not seen much about it before, but Zombie Makeout Club, it is a graphic novel coming from Ablaze Comics from Peter Richardson. So this was a hit webtoon comic and first time coming to print here. Rebellious high school student is brought back to life in a strange underground facility after committing suicide. Now, she must piece together not only how and why she has been resurrected, but also confront the fragmented memories of her past and the horrors of the laboratory that want to send her back to the afterlife. This breakneck story illustrates a violent vision of life after death. Welcome to Death Wish, a graphic novel and chaotic comic about life, death, suicide, and other side. Brought to you by the creator of Zombie Makeout Club, collecting the popular webtoon comic series plus bonus material. So they are calling it Zombie Makeout Club Volume 1 Death Wish. And it definitely has, you can tell this was either meant to be a manga or it was printed originally a webtoon. And so it does have that feel to it looking at the previews pages that they got there, but the art looks incredible. It's black and white art, and story idea sounds pretty cool. So that is it for me. Thank you for watching. As always, collect what you love. See you guys next time.